The original passage seems to have grammatical errors and unclear wording. I'll rewrite it to be more coherent and natural while preserving the original meaning. Hello and welcome back, everyone, to the mysterious universe. Have you ever heard of Bangladesh, a country often labeled as one of the poorest and most polluted places in the world? Did you know, behind those rumors lies an entire country filled with stories so bizarre they're hard to believe? A place where a mother and daughter can share the same husband, and child brides are not an uncommon phenomenon. And the traffic was so congested that the traffic lights were practically useless. There are communities where an entire generation passes without a single person having fingerprints. Can you believe it? This isn't a plot from some movie or fantasy novel. This is the reality unfolding in Bangladesh, a land of wonders that defy our wildest imagination. Today, join me as we delve into the heartbreaking truths about this country in the video below. 9 harsh truths about Bangladesh, the world's second most polluted country, where streets are strikingly empty. So what are these facts? Let's find out right now. Child marriage is a backward custom. It may sound hard to believe, but this reality is entirely true and extremely alarming. Bangladesh has one of the highest rates of child marriage in the world. Nearly 1/3 of brides move to their husband's family home at a very young age. This makes Bangladesh the country with the highest rate of child marriage in the world. According to UNICEF statistics, nearly 1/3 of girls in Bangladesh marry before the age of 15, an alarming and shocking figure. Imagine a girl at an age when she should be enjoying her vibrant youth and exploring life, yet she has to shoulder the heavy burden of family responsibilities. They are forced to lose their childhood to become child brides, often facing isolation from society, family, and friends after moving to their husband's home. At the same time, they have almost no opportunity to continue learning or developing themselves. The reason is that many poor people in Bangladesh believe women are not as important as men in earning money. Therefore, many families believe that sending young girls away is the best solution to ease their financial burden and no longer having to support them. This is a sad reality, clearly reflecting the state of gender discrimination and the deep-rooted social biases ingrained in the subconscious. The brides had to leave their families, friends, and education too early, which deprived them of the opportunity to grow and the ability to build a brighter future. Meanwhile, society often justifies this situation with reasons of economic hardship or their cultural traditions, instead of confronting and addressing the issue from the perspective of human rights and social justice. Isn't this situation truly disheartening? I hope our country never experiences anything similar to this. As previously mentioned, Bangladesh is a unique country in Southeast Asia, renowned for its dense and diverse network of rivers. But you might be surprised to learn that this country is home to as many as 700 rivers. Major rivers such as the Jamuna Padma, also known as the Ganges in India, and the Meghna all flow through the country's territory. Not only do they contribute to the natural beauty, but they also play a vital role in the daily lives of the people in Bangladesh. Particularly in the capital Dhaka, the Buriganga River, also known as the Ganga River, plays an extremely vital role in the city's transportation system and economy. Originally, the Buriganga River was a tributary of the Ganges, but over time, it separated and became an independent river. The bustling Buriganga River, filled with boats coming and going every day, is the vital transportation lifeline of the capital city Dhaka. All day long, this river is always bustling with boats carrying passengers and transporting goods, along with large transport ships moving between the port and nearby warehouses. However, due to the dense river network and large population, pollution has become a serious challenge. The rivers in Bangladesh, especially the Buriganga, frequently facing severe water pollution caused by untreated industrial and domestic waste, as well as other sources of contamination. In our country, there are countless rivers, so many that they cannot all be named. But I'm certain the number will never be as high as in Bangladesh. And this is precisely why Bangladesh is dubbed the most polluted country in the world. 2,000 passengers crammed onto a ship. Surely, you must be utterly shaken to the core upon witnessing these horrifying scenes, right? In mid-March, documentary filmmaker Yusuf Tusha had a memorable journey in Dhaka. Capture the authentic moments of everyday life on the trains in Dhaka, Bangladesh. Whether early morning or late evening, the subway trains are always alarmingly packed with people. Thousands of passengers jostled each other, scrambling for every available seat in hopes of boarding the train. Many people don't hesitate to take risks, even climbing onto the roof of the train to get on. This is a risky move, but it's the only choice to secure a seat in such a crowded situation. Filmmaker Yusuf Tusha also shared that early mornings and late evenings are the busiest times on the trains. This is the time when people in the area hustle back home after a hard day's work, willing to take any spot that. According to reports, Bangladesh's railway system has a total length of approximately 3,000 kilometers, serving over 65 million passengers annually. However, the traffic management system here is very lax, with trains moving at speeds of only about 43 kilometers per hour. During major holidays, the sudden surge in passengers makes the chaos even more apparent. During this time, more and more children are appearing on the trains, making the scene livelier but also more tense. Looking at these images, many can't help but reconsider their decision to visit Bangladesh and choose trains as their means of transportation. Particularly, the chaos and disorder at the train station became even more evident through Yusuf Tusha's footage. This scene might make you hesitant to visit Bangladesh and experience its traffic system. After seeing these images, I decided to stop and choose a safer destination instead. Perhaps we should save that money for Singapore or places with more convenient transportation systems. That would be more reasonable, everyone. A mother and daughter sharing the same husband. Isn't it strange, everyone? It may sound hard to believe, but this custom actually exists in Bangladesh. This is not common nationwide but only occurs in a small tribe called Bendi. According to the customs of this tribe, when a widowed woman wishes to remarry, she must follow a special rule, choosing her new husband from the lineage of her deceased spouse to maintain the alliance between the two families. As you said, this has become an outdated rule, but what's more notable is that the chosen men are often much younger than the accompanying women. Therefore, to resolve this dispute, the deceased wife must give one of her daughters in marriage as a second wife to the remarried man. This love triangle is like a melody that rises and falls, both captivating and bittersweet as we imagine the tangled emotions of the girls caught in this complicated relationship. Do they feel discontent and struggle to break free from this outdated custom, or will they resign themselves to fate, happily living with the man who shares their birth mother? This is a difficult question to answer precisely, because we cannot fully understand the deepest thoughts in their hearts. For civilized societies, this custom is certainly unacceptable, especially when considering human rights and individual freedom. Forcing a girl to live with a man chosen by her mother is a serious violation of her right to self-determination. From a contemporary cultural and social perspective, this is clearly a backward and unacceptable custom. As hard to accept, ISN. The floating school, where creativity flows endlessly. In Bangladesh, where up to 1/5 of the land is submerged by floods annually, a unique school model has been developed to ensure children's education is not disrupted by natural disasters. This may sound like a fairy tale, but in reality, it's a floating school model that has already been implemented, helping thousands of children access education despite living in water-based communities. Even when floodwaters rise all around. Originating from the idea of architect and entrepreneur Muhammad Raikwan, this boat train system is named Shidaraj Swanivashankta. Mr. Raikwan, with a vision to bring Suk village to hard-to-reach areas, built his own fleet of boats. Sometimes it's a means of transportation, other times it becomes a mobile classroom. These boats not only transport students aged 6 to 10 to school, but also become actual classrooms right on the water. The boat is over 16 meters long and more than 3 meters wide, with a capacity of up to around 30 people. These boats are inspired by the traditional wooden boat designs of Laded State, but have been improved to operate efficiently even in harsh water conditions. The boat deck and cabin are designed to be elevated, made from waterproof materials, and equipped with solar panels to supply power for the electronic devices on board. As a result, these boats can still operate effectively even in heavy rain. These boats are not just classrooms, they are versatile, serving multiple functions such as libraries, computer rooms, and even recreational areas. The students are divided into small groups of about 30 and study subjects such as Bengali, English, math, drawing, and computer science. On the boats, the solar power system supplies electricity to over 100 internet-connected computers, while the onboard library is equipped with nearly 50,000 books and magazines. Currently, more than 1,800 children are benefiting from this floating school model. With 54 boats, this system not only provides learning opportunities but also. These locations also serve as medical stations and internet access points for approximately 97,000 residents in the flood-affected area. The floating schools in Bangladesh are a brilliant example of how creative innovation can help tackle major challenges. This is also the clearest proof that creativity and perseverance can make a profound difference in life. Of those who are facing difficult circumstances, a bit dirty but extremely creative, and the result doesn't. Can you believe it? There are actually families in this world who don't have fingerprints at all. It sounds unbelievable, but it's completely true. Yet, this truly happened to Shaker's family spanning 4 generations in Bangladesh, a family originally from Lachahi district in the northern region of Bangladesh. The men in the Shaker family suffer from an extremely rare syndrome. They are born without fingerprints, their fingertips completely smooth. No fingerprints. Although the absence of fingerprints might not have been a serious issue in the past. But in today's age, where fingerprints are widely used for identification and authentication, this has become a significant concern. One of the initial difficulties they faced was not being able to obtain a driver's license. Despite completing all the tests and paying the required fees, they still could not receive their driver's license because they were unable to provide fingerprints, a mandatory requirement in the licensing process. The next issue relates to purchasing a SIM card for a mobile phone. The Bangladeshi government requires SIM card buyers to verify their fingerprints against the national database. This means Shaker family members will not be able to use their personal SIM cards. Elderly people often face many difficulties when communicating and using mobile services. So what causes their hands to have no fingerprints at all? Members of the Shaker family are believed to suffer from an extremely rare genetic disorder called Admarterclivia. This disease was only discovered in 2007, when Swiss dermatologist Peter encountered a peculiar case. A young girl without fingerprints faced trouble when going through U.S. immigration procedures. Though her face was identical to the one in the projection hall's photo. But her fingertips were strangely smooth, making it impossible for the customs officer to identify any fingerprints. Subsequent studies have shown that the absence of fingerprints is caused by a mutation in the SMARCAD1 gene. Though it is called delayed entry syndrome due to its impact on administrative procedures and immigration processes. However, Adamater-Griffia syndrome does not cause any other serious health effects besides preventing the affected individuals from having fingerprints. Adamater-Griffia is an extremely rare syndrome, documented in only a few families worldwide. The world may be small, but every day we may encounter strange and puzzling things, as well as baffling diseases we have to face, my friends. Enjoy the unique flavors found nowhere else by savoring the dish with your hands. A traditional Vietnamese meal typically includes steamed rice along with 1 or 2 soup dishes. Using chopsticks while eating shows proper manners and etiquette. Completely different. Their traditional meals are truly peculiar, and that peculiarity is so unique it. Panta bhat. Another option is puffed rice, known as murri. Another unique aspect is that lunch doesn't take place during the usual school meal hours like in other countries, but is instead moved to 2 p.m. The main dish for lunch is often a finely chopped and well-stewed dish, served with the signature soft-cooked lentils. Dinner in Bangladesh has another unique feature. They often eat rice with milk at 11 p.m. Here are 2 natural English translations matching the tone and style of the original. Like in India, Bangladeshis also do not use chopsticks or spoons when eating. Instead of using chopsticks or a spoon, you'll have to use your bare hands to pick up the food. On the dining table, you'll often find rice or chapati served with a bit of curry. If you're eating rice, just mix it with curry and scoop it up to eat. If it's chapati, you can dip it like when eating bread with sauce. Most dishes are finely chopped, simmered until tender, and can be shaped into round balls or arranged on a plate for easy mixing with rice and eating by hand. This country is also known for its famous chili pepper called bustling. This is the world's hottest chili pepper, with a spiciness level of over 1 million Scoville units. Chilies are about 100 times spicier than bell peppers, with a heat level of only 0 to 100 Scoville units. To give you an idea, the bustling chili is about 1,000 times hotter than a bell pepper. Of course, spicy chili peppers are usually red. So, if you visit Bangladesh during harvest season, you'll be amazed by the vibrant red scenery of ripe chili farms, where around 3,000 tons of red chilies are supplied each year. You think that's funny already, right? But the weird things in Bangladesh go even further than that. Bangladesh, a South Asian country, is renowned for its distinctive features and diverse religious culture. The notable thing is that despite Islam having such a strong presence, but Bangladesh stands out for its Muslim community with a moderate way of life. Clearly distinct from neighboring countries like Pakistan and Afghanistan, areas where Islamic extremists operate often experience tension and conflict. In Bangladesh, practicing Islam is not bound by strict regulations like in some other countries. This clearly shows that there is no mandatory regulation requiring wearing a headscarf or traditional attire. Everyone can freely choose their attire and express their personal style, as long as they adhere to social norms and religious regulations. This freedom contributes to creating a diverse and harmonious environment, a place where people live in harmony and understand each other. Although the majority of Bangladesh's population follows Islam, the country still has significant religious diversity. Other religions such as Hinduism, Buddhism, and Zen Buddhism are also present and respected. The harmony among different religions is a beautiful and vital aspect of the country's cultural tapestry. It is thanks to this that Bangladesh maintains a relatively stable and peaceful society. Sao faced many difficulties in both development and daily life. A notable point is that although 85% of Bangladesh's population is Muslim, culinary culture also clearly reflects the influence of this religion. Eating vegetarian on certain occasions throughout the year or following religious rituals is not an uncommon practice. If you're looking for a destination to explore new things and gain a deeper understanding of life in a multi-faith society, Bangladesh is certainly a team that cannot be underestimated. Exploring New Year's customs. What do you usually do to prepare for the new year when spring arrives? Should you buy new clothes, clean the house, or get some decorations? These are undoubtedly fundamental principles that nearly